back, guys. Sorry, my voice is kind of rough. Got some hay fever from grass. Anyways, I got a beer that's, again, I was too light on the hops, so I'm adding a hop tea to an already finished and carbonated, force carbonated, into a keg, and I'll add that later on to this video to see how I do it. But what I start out with is 10 grams of Saz, and you don't necessarily need to use one of these. I just mix it all in and let it go for about 15 minutes with boiling water, and as it cooled down, you're getting different kind of oils out of it and stuff. So what I did is I started with this, and then I used a tea with one of those stainless steel strainer things, and then dumped it through that and let it strain through there, and then let it sit again until it cooled down below 80. Now what I'm doing is using coffee filters. This is all sterilized and stuff. Well, it's just sanitized. I didn't say sterilized. Sorry. But I'm using coffee filters to actually get all the particles out so I don't have any floaties inside there. And it's very, very clear. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's very, very clear. It's catching even the smallest debris, which this caught the big stuff. There's a good probably centimeter or more down there at the bottom. And so this is going to go through. I'm going to pull this filter out. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to use about 3 filters to get the rest of this remaining, because the bottom is going to have all that chunky stuff inside there, and that's where it's going to clog up the filters fast. So that's how it's going to work, okay? And then afterwards, we'll add it to the keg, okay? And we'll see how that goes too. Okay, now we got that tea into the keg here. I just used a funnel and just filled it inside here. I don't have my quick adapters yet, and if I did, I could release the gas in here. So I'll go through this step real fast. This has got the beer in it that wasn't hopped yet. It was a little light because after I looked at the recipe, I was short probably 20 grams per full batch, but this is only a single batch. So therefore I halved it to 10 grams with 500 milliliters of water, boiling water, hot water. So I got some of the, little bit of the, more of a, what do you call it? More tight flavor. Not so much, I wouldn't call it like adding it too dry or anything like that, but getting more of the Saz taste too, the grassier like lager taste. Because it's a sweet beer, so see if I can, I don't know if it'll match or anything else, but, let me pull this off here. I gotta pull it off here. Sorry, I was gonna show you this anyways. So I put it inside here. I think we're done, that's full. This one is, completely empty now. I was talking too long. So I put the hop tea inside there, and again, like I showed you, we filtered it out 3 times with coffee filter, so I wasn't gonna have any particulates. I still probably will inside there, but what I got going here, I'm gonna pull this keg tab off. Anyways, new keg, sanitized with Star San inside there, and I purged it with gas. When you purge it with gas to get the oxygen out, you don't want to feed the gas through here because it's just going to be floating on top, mixing with the oxygen and stuff. So what you do is the gas outlet on that thing here, on that adapter there, the coupler, I pulled it off, put it on here, the beer end of it instead of the gas end of it, because that spear will go all the way down the bottom of here. And then when you pump the gas into it, it's going to pump gas from the bottom and force the oxygen out. I didn't do all of it because it's a full keg, but I did fill up quite a bit, half full gas. Pulled it off, pulled the adapter, and then put everything together on this one. Mine is tricky because I don't have the adapter, the quick adapters at first. So what I had to do is I want to pump PSI because you want a lot of back pressure inside here. So I put it up to like 15 PSI, pumped it full of gas, and then pulled the adapter off. So therefore now it's pressurized inside here because I had to redo the fittings over there. So once I put the fittings over there, because you need gas to push the beer out. Once I did that, this is fine here because it's a complete seal. It's got a nice gasket inside there. That's the coupler, so it's not going to leak. So that's fine here. But having nothing here, when you engage it, it's going to force the gas out, and the beer's going to come running quickly. So all I did was I hit this first, plugged up the plug with my finger, and then attached that one. And because there's a lot of gas in here, but the pressure still isn't equalized. Of course, some beer's going to start running through, but then it stops. And then I just quickly took my finger off slowly, letting some of the gas out, and it started flowing and stuff too. And then attached the gas to that side, pushing it in and up the pressure a little bit more. And then just in case it's really a full keg and I got foam coming out of it, I hooked this hose up here and had a pet bottle ready just to shove it in there, because when the foam comes out, that doesn't mean it's the beer. It just inside here it's whipping up a lot and there's really not foam. You still want the beer to keep coming in and the foam keep coming out and stuff too. But they're the same size keg, so it's obviously going to fit. But I just didn't want to make a mess. I want to put this in a pet bottle to catch some of it and stuff out. So filled it all up. In fact, you just saw it was done when I pulled the lever. I was going to hopefully talk a little longer about it. I do have the adapters coming by mail. They're very hard to find, actually. You just think you can type in Sankey coupler. It's not. It's like keg adapter, keg adapters, corny. Maybe, I don't even think it's even corny. On eBay, look around. Lots of people sell them for all different prices. I've seen them from $50. And then the ones I got were only like $23 for the pair. So that's good enough. So they're gonna come. But I do like this one here. This Sankey coupler. Let me go around the other side of it so you can see it. It has a gas relief valve, and these are really nice for homebrew because over time, when your keg's heating up and cooling down, heat up and cool down, the gas really builds up there. And so people have the big problem when they first get into kegging is pouring a drink and getting a heck of a lot of foam just coming out of it, and that's because the best way to do it is to degas the whole thing to literally no pressure, and then plug in your gas line at like 10 psi, depending on your line. If you're serving it from a party thing, this very short hose, 10 psi is fantastic. Plug it in there, let some of the gas pump in, and then start serving it. But don't wait too long, and you'll start to see how much gas it takes for it to fill up and not foam up. When you're doing it from the draft system, like this, you can see right down here next to one of my socks my dogs carry around. Put my sock away. This is how small a gas... Most people sell this kind of size. I think they call it 3/8 or something. But in Japan, it's done by millimeters. This is half the size of that. And it really is a pain in the butt to get it over these ribs and stuff, too. You have to use some boiling water to soften the vinyl and then force it over there. And then you don't have clamps. You probably don't need clamps because it's so tight a fit. And the barbs are so well. And the clamps are not small enough, so I cut a big piece of 3/8 and slid it over it, so therefore I got a really nice tight fit around the top. But this is my permanent line, so that's why I have it like that. I run cleaner through it, OxyClean and PBW and stuff too, so these are pretty clean. This is already cleaned up and stuff too, so unfortunately I do have it hanging down there in the crap. But again, it's serving beer. I do sterilize it afterwards. But these things are really nice to have releasing the gas in here. This one doesn't have that. It was my first adapter. If you get into kegs and you want to use these Asahi kegs, you can go, buy a keg for I think like 4,000 yen for the actual beer, or like 2,800 yen for the the clear Asahi Clear, which is not, they don't consider it beer in Japan because it has other stuff inside of it, mainly corn and probably rice. Even though the dry considered beer has rice in it, I don't know. Get someone to explain it. It's really hard. But if you get them, again, they only charge 1,000 yen deposit for the keg. So, hey, drink some beer, give them to your Japanese friends because they love the dry beer. Give them out, and you got a keg. You got to return it. And so that's the reason why I have them. But if you're going to get into them and you want to use that style, I tried it with one coupler, and I got five or six of these kegs. You really need two couplers because you're going to be, like I just now, transferring it because it's been sitting there and dropping off all the stuff. I did a first running, threw that beer out because it's got all the stuff at the bottom. And once you transfer it once or twice into another keg and then force carb it one more time, you get really clear beer and you get really good tasting. It's kind of like a bright tank kind of thing. So this is what I've done today, but I added some hops because it was too low. It wasn't a bad drink, but it's, it could use some hops. It could use some bittering hops, but unfortunately I could do that again. I could actually pull some beer out, boil the beer with some hops for probably 20 minutes, and that would get the alpha acids out to give it something, and put it back in again. That'll give you bitter beer if you make a mistake on it. But hey, it was only 10 liters. It wasn't a big batch. It was just a test batch of leftovers of stuff I had hanging around. But, still, I've got a barbecue coming up, and I wanted just a little more hop flavor inside there. So that's transferring them over. Guys, brew on, okay? Stay cool.